People are hurting. Inaction is not an option.
That was President Trump yesterday speaking with Republican senators after they failed to keep their promise to repeal and replace Obamacare. Now, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he plans to call a vote next week on the motion to proceed on the GOP health care bill. Among the possible amendments, Senator Ted Cruz's consumer freedom option, which frees insurers from Obamacare regulations. That'll drive down premiums. According to the HHS analysis of Senator Cruz's amendment, it would lower premiums and enrollment would increase more under his plan than it would under Obamacare by 2024. Here's the man himself to explain all that. Senator, good to see you. How are you? I really. So, reading your plan, tell me if I'm right. You could save how much as a family a year? How dramatic is the decrease in premiums?
So it's dramatic. HHS studied the consumer freedom option. It concluded that you would see 2.2 million more people get insurance. So you know how the Democrats and the media, they're always attacking us, saying people are losing coverage? Right. Consumer freedom expands coverage. More people get health insurance. And then what happens to premiums is dramatic. For people that choose the freedom plans, that buy a plan off the exchange without the Obamacare mandates, their premiums would drop over $7,000 a year. And for those who decide to stay on the Obamacare exchanges, because of the power of competition, their premiums drop by over $5,500 a year. That's real money in people's pockets.
That's real money. It's serious reductions. Yeah. And I was asking at the beginning of my monologue tonight, I'm asking, does the Republican Party, do they want to be the party of freedom, capitalism, entrepreneurship, competition, solid borders, secure borders, energy independence? What party do they want to be, Senator?
It is simple. What do we stand for and who are we? And the message that I'm conveying to my colleagues is real simple. Let's do what we said we would do. For 7 years, we've campaigned on repealing Obamacare. We got the chance to do it. The House has passed a repeal bill. It's in the Senate. The president is ready to sign it. And it's up to the Senate Republicans. We're either going to step up to the bar and keep our word, or we're going to look the voters in the eye and break our word. I hope it's not the latter.
If they do it, Newt Gingrich says a possibility of a Speaker Pelosi exists.
I think that's very possible. The central promise for 7 years, if you knew one thing about Republicans, it's that we were going to repeal Obamacare, and we've run over and over and over again. We said, give us the House. In 2010, the voters did. Give us the Senate. In 2014, they did. Give us the White House. In 2016, they did. We got to step up and just do it. And
where are we now? Because it keeps going back and forth between repeal and transition.
Yeah.
Or the bill that you worked on with your amendment, which I like your amendment. Yeah. But I also, if that could be part of the transition, fine. I'd be fine with that, too.
Look, I would happily vote for either. I would vote for complete repeal, a one-sentence Obamacare is repealed, period, the end. I'd vote for it happily.
I'd be happy.
Unfortunately, there are a bunch of Republicans who are scared to vote for that. They won't vote for that.
We saw that in the House, though. There were 100 Republicans. Yeah. There were nearly 68 votes. Show votes. And just like you got in trouble, and I remember supporting you, watching you the night you were filibustering. If they would have done it then and used their constitutional authority, power of the purse,
you're exactly right.
We wouldn't be here, would we?
Look, 2013, there was a big fight. We could have stopped it then. But you know what? We got a chance now. There is an agreement to be reached. We've got 52 Republicans. And anyone who's standing up against this, I would just ask you to think, what did you tell the voters the last 8 years? How are you going to look them in the eyes and say, you had a chance to repeal Obamacare, but you said no? We need to come together, and there is a path to yes. We probably got, I'd say, 45, 46 yeses. It's just 4 or 5 people that are holding out. We got to get there and get this done. And the key to doing it is focusing on freedom, focusing on lowering premiums, more competition, empower you, the consumer, to be in charge of your health care. That's how we get it done.
Senator, I have said, and I believe that there were 5 things Republicans better have done if they want to keep power, which they asked for, as you said, 2010, 14, 16. One, the president was able to do it. That was Neil Gorsuch. They got it done in the Senate. All right.
Big deal. Biggest thing we've done all year.
Obamacare has to be done. It's not an option.
Yep.
If you don't get it done, they're going to pay a price.
Not an option.
Okay. The next thing, energy, because it'll create millions of high-paying career jobs. Yeah. The next one is the American people by 2018 better see 300 miles of that border fence that they've been promised.
I want a lot more than 300 miles.
I'm saying in 1 year. That's fair.
We need to get it built. As you know, I've introduced the El Chapo Act to take all of El Chapo's resources and other Mexican drug lords and use it to build the wall.
And the next thing is, I like the president's economic plan. It's very Reagan-esque. 15% corporate rate, middle-class tax cuts, repatriation, multinational corporations. That's all going to, all the people in poverty on food stamps, what happens to them?
Tax cuts are a big, big deal. We need to do tax cuts. We need to do tax reform. We can, but I'll tell you what, if we screw up Obamacare repeal, tax reform becomes much harder. If we get this right, if we follow through on Obamacare repeal, it sets this up for this to be the most productive Congress in decades. Whereas if we're paralyzed, we could blow an historic opportunity. I don't want us to blow this opportunity, and I know the American people don't want us to blow this opportunity.
I watched you after the meeting at the White House, the lunch, I guess, yesterday with the president. I watched you very closely, and you said failure is not an option.
Yeah.
I don't see some of your colleagues saying failure is not an option.
Well, you know, I fear that some of our colleagues, some of the more moderate Republicans...
What are those conversations like with you?
You know, what I hope is not the case is that they're happy Obamacare staying on the books, that what they've been saying to the voters, they don't actually mean. I can tell you my colleagues say behind closed doors, when it comes to repeal, in 2015, virtually every Republican voted for repeal.
Everyone but Susan Collins.
That's right.
Everybody. So how do they justify not doing it now?
A bunch of them say, and it's this candid, they say, well, yeah, we knew Obama was going to veto it. Now it would actually happen, and we won't vote for it. And you know what? That's why people are fed up.
I'm fed up.
Just do what you said. It ain't complicated. Do what you said. Keep your word. And by the way, this HHS study again shows what a big deal it is for producing results.
And Mike Lee support it?
Look, I think Rand has made pretty clear he's voting no matter what.
So now it's a 2.
It is.
And Senator McCain's sick.
You know, we're in a tough position. We've got to come together. And I think the way you bring together conservatives and moderates and leadership in the White House, which I'm trying to do, focus on lowering premiums. If we're sitting here and people's premiums have gone down $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year, that's a win for everyone. It's a win for moderates, for conservatives.
Every American deserves and needs that desperately.
And by the way, that's also how we grow our Senate majority.
I'm shaking your hand. Yeah, I agreed.
Yes.
So you could win 6 seats or more.
Exactly.
Results. Keep your word. When we come back, up next tonight on Hannity.